nuke is now coming down, and IMR is not going to see this. Oh no, he now sees it. He's trying to run away. Oh, he does get away, and it does blow up. And the ghost says, ouch, why did you have me nuke so close to where I was standing? It does burn up these trees and cause a nice little crater in the ground. That is so cool. Anyway, getting back to the game, we do see IMR and Rotodyne now just jockeying for position. Rotodyne really needs to have this command center mining as soon as he can, and I would actually opt it to be a planetary fortress if he can help it, because he really needs to get this economy going. Well, he also does have this one coming up, and it is going to be a planetary fortress, so his income is now just kind of getting back on track, even though IMR is just crushing him. Look at this, 106 harvesters. There's no reason you should ever have that many harvesters. Jeez, this is just so many barracks. This game is out of control. It makes no sense to me. 108 harvesters now. There's even still more SCVs on the production tab. Checking in here, there's 4 Ghost Academies going down for IMR. So this game is just taking even more turns up to the ridiculous. Trying to find out, there they are, a whole bunch of nuke silos is essentially what these are going to be in all likelihood. IMR is maxed out on supply, but most of those are workers, so you have to wonder if he's going to start sacking workers here at any point. We did not see that drop actually take place, even though I'm sure that it did. There's one little hurt marauder here hiding in the corner saying, hey, come pick me up. But no, I guess he's just going to get stranded there. Checking back, they're still jockeying for position just a little bit. I do like the placement of these tanks. He's going to just nail these Marines as soon as they come into range. And yeah, those Marines just start getting really shot down really well. But the Marines are at 3-2 upgrades, so this is really going to help him out. A nuke going on behind these tanks. I don't know if he sees the dot there. It looks like he does because he is skirting his units right around. He could actually cancel that nuke in case he does not want it to go off, but what can it really hurt right now? It is launched. These Marines are actually moving up and taking out these barracks here that are sitting in the middle of the map for Rotodyne. This ghost is still cloaked. I don't know if he notices taking damage on these tanks. If it was this ghost, I would actually opt to take out a whole bunch of these Marines or hit these medevacs with some EMPs. That would really help out in the long term if he can hold this off. Marauders coming down to try and clean this up. He needs to run these Marauders back, and there he does, in order to try to bait those Marines. He does pick off a whole bunch of them. This planetary fortress should finish off those Marines if they decide to run up there, but they're not going to. Marauders coming down. Checking the upgrades here. They're both at 3, at least 3 attack, and Rotodyne is actually going to clean this up. More Marines coming in. This is a little bit of a foolish rally point here. Well, I guess there are more tanks moving up, so he should be able to deal with this just fine. This ghost falling back is just about to run out of energy in order to try to help him out. He does not want to get sieged by his own tanks. These Marines are just getting cut down. I guess IMR is just settling at a point where he's just going to flood out Marines and try to end the game like that. But again, his harvesters are now at 85. He did dump all of his SCVs from here. Either that or there was a drop, but that seems unlikely. There is some damage put down on this. Oh, excuse me, there was a nuke here. I cannot believe the kind of action that is going on in this game. It is so hard to spot all this. I apologize for missing that nuke. We will go back and rewind to it and watch that happen as it occurred earlier. It's just so much action going on. There's so many Marines fighting and nukes launching, and it's so hard to keep up on it, but we will go back and check that out just to see. He might have actually cleared off this whole mineral line with nukes, or with one nuke anyway. Look at all these ghosts. There's a ton of ghosts in here. All gonna move up. There's 16 ghosts in there. That's so much production, or rather so many resources sank into just ghosts. This is such a silly game. We're gonna see what happens with the rest. There's even more ghosts rallying there. That's ridiculous. We're gonna see a little bit of an engagement here. Everyone pushing up. The tanks are gonna clean this up quite well. Even the ones that are... Look at all these nukes going off. There's like 5 nukes going off all in the same place. All the ghosts are gonna be taken out, so none of those nukes will land. A colossal waste of resources. IMR back up to 96 harvesters, which there's no reason to be up there in the first place. Scanning again, a nuke does go down for the blue flare and take down a whole bunch of, takes down a whole bunch of Marines or ghosts or whatever those were. They're just now flaming bodies. Medevac does get taken out. All these ghosts are in the red, so this game is ridiculous. It's really shifting back and forth. Again, IMR is at 101 workers. You do not want to ever have this many workers, harvesting for you, because you're killing your supply limit. If you have 105 workers, you're only going to have 95 reserve for supply. More ghosts and Marines moving down here for the Red Terran player. This barracks is going to burn to death if he does not get something repairing it. A few more barracks going down to replace the ones that have died here. SCV doesn't not spot it, I guess. He's going to say, oh, I need to repair the tank, when this is going to burn down to the ground. So Scan going off to reveal these units. They're going to back up and wait for more ghost reinforcements. This is just an absurd number of ghosts. I've never seen this many ghosts in one game, at least in a 1 versus 1, and as far as I know, this is on the ladder. So if you ran into a game like this, you would be hysterically laughing because this is ridiculous. This is just absolutely insane. 110 harvesters now for IMR. There's just no reason to be that high. He's even researching stuff like building armor, high-sec auto-tracking, which increases the range of your planetary fortresses, or planetary fortri? I don't know. And vehicle plating level 2, all sorts of upgrades. There is a cloak ghost here. What is he going to do? Okay, this time if he does nuke, we won't miss it. So we'll try to be juggling these two back and forth. There is a nuke going off somewhere. It is right here on top of these tanks. He's going to force these tanks to unsiege, and I would normally like to see him just run in there and try to destroy the tanks while they are moving, because he'd have a good position on there. That nuke is going to blow up anyway. This ghost just still kind of hanging out, being suspicious and whatnot. The ghost now deciding to move in, and if he tries to nuke like right here, which he does, the nuke is going to go down. And I don't know if IMR can see this dot. It's really well hidden on top of that command center, so he's probably just furiously going around the map trying to figure out where that is. And this is going to land. Watch all these SCVs. Boom! They're all dead. That's tons of SCV carnage. Look, you can see all their little flaming or smoking remains. A whole bunch more Ghost Academies going down here for IMR. Almost his entire base is filled with Ghost Academies. This is insane. Like, this is a ridiculous game. I have never seen anything so ridiculous in my entire life, at least in terms of Starcraft. Checking back here, he's rallying all of his ghosts back here. This is almost 2 pages, well, at least a full page worth, plus some extra ghosts. There's so many nukes on the way. This is insane. I don't know if this is a real game or if these guys are just screwing around. I will actually reveal this much. I don't watch these games before they take place. I cast them as I see them, but I do occasionally will catch descriptions of them, and part of this description on here did note that it was in a ladder game. So I don't know if that's really true, if they're just trying to fool us, but this is a crazy game nonetheless. A bunch of nukes going down. There's actually 3 nukes going down, and if this blue player is not careful, rotodyne, he's going to get blown up by all these nukes. I don't know if he sees them or not. The one tank does unsiege and run away. He's like, screw you guys. And all these guys are going to get blown up. Boom! A whole bunch of marauders going down. This is so cool to watch. There's so many nukes going off. It's just insane. All these ghosts just walking into their death. I don't know what the point of this is. You even have a cloak. You could just walk in there and cloak right up in their faces. Luke is seeing so many ghosts. Checking this income tab again. 97 harvesters. Jeez, look at all these nukes coming down. Really no reason to do this again. And I don't know if he's just doing this to make his counterpart paranoid or what. One thing he could do that I'm actually surprised we haven't seen yet is knock down these rocks, or just medevac drop a ghost right here and nuke this expansion. Since this expansion is still relatively fresh, he would actually do a lot of damage there. Or if he could find a way to get a ghost up here on the high ground and nuke all these SCVs, that would be a money nuke. It would be ridiculous. Looking back around here, let's look at how many buildings are in IMR's Ninja base. There are, let's see, 17 barracks, and let's see, those Ghost Academies along with these ones. 17 Ghost Academies. So that's a little bit of overkill, if I don't say so myself. He's now getting this all saturated up. Checking the production tab, we do see 8 more ghosts on the way for IMR and 8 more Marines. So another engagement here in the middle. These ghosts are getting ripped apart. EMPing nothing for whatever reason. There's nothing to EMP here. Almost just feels like IMR is just kind of goofing around now. Moving forward, he's going to get nailed by these siege tanks if he decides to engage there. A whole bunch more ghosts being rallied in here. And by the end of this game, at this rate, these are going to be mined out. There's another nuke going off somewhere. I'm furiously trying to find it. Oh, they're being launched by red. Okay, there they go, down in the middle. I don't know what he's going to be nuking. He needs to cancel this nuke, which you obviously can by just hitting this cancel button. So he does not deal any damage to his own units. And he doesn't anyway, so it's no big deal. He could also be using a lot of these nukes for distractions, but if he ever gets any nukes off on like this base, or this base, or this base, I mean, he'll kill his enemy's economy, and you should be able to just walk in there and end the game, but this game is so silly that I don't know if he really wants to end this game. I think he's just trying to drag this out as long as he can, just for the sake of entertainment value, and of course to please all of us out there that are watching it. So checking back in the income tab, 108 harvesters. I can't say how bad this is for yourself if you're trying to win a game. I would really laugh if IMR wound up losing this. I'm not really rooting for anybody, but he's just fooling around, and Rotodyne is actually putting out a reasonably competent army in order to try to fight this. Another engagement here in the middle. These ghosts are going to get hammered by these tanks, but this bio is actually going down relatively easily, so I'm surprised. Checking these upgrades, it's going to be doing 26 damage to Marines. It's going to be two-shotting Marines, essentially, and 13 damage otherwise to those Marauders. And Marauders attack so slowly. Oh, he almost flew his own medevacs into that nuke. That would have been really bad. Nuke is going to explode, and blam. Checking back around, we'll see what the supply counts are. Rotodyne is now behind by about 70 supply, catching up just a little bit. Another nuke going down on top of these tanks, another one on top of these Marines. So, if anything, what he's doing is really controlling this battle from in terms of a nuke standpoint. And in all seriousness, one alternative to Terran versus Terran is if you have a big siege line here, and if you need to move them, you can go for mass bio, set off a nuke, and what's going to happen is it's going to make these tanks unsiege, and at that point you stim your bio, you run it in as fast as you can, and you take out all those tanks while they're in that transformation mode, and you'll have a huge advantage. So I have seen players like the little one do that. It's not a very common strategy, but I think it's a very practical strategy. So keep an eye out for that, and you can see in the meantime he's moving up his own tanks. He's going to lose that one, unfortunately. But he's just basically battling for position here in order to try to gain control over all this. He's launching nukes again. They're going to be taken out more than likely, or he's just going to be nuking himself. He really needs to cancel these nukes, which he always can. He's going to blow himself up. That's a shame. Oh, he gets out of there with 7 health, so good job on him. I just don't even know what to say anymore about this game. This game, we're seeing the same stuff over and over, but that doesn't mean it's not cool. So many nukes going off. Another nuke going off. I have never seen even more than like 3 nukes in the same game, but this guy launches 3 nukes at a time. He's not messing around. He's pushing these guys back against the wall. If he keeps doing this, he's going to actually force him into a corner, like right here, or up in his own base, where he's going to have no choice but to just sit there and eat it, or just try and push out and end the nuker. So we are seeing a little bit of a legitimate strategy in terms of pressing forward with his tanks while he decides to nuke. Both of them are exchanging scans constantly, which is normal for Terran versus Terran. But this is one way to demand position, because it says if you're at this position, I want it, because I can cancel that nuke whenever I want. IMR now saying this is a pretty fun game. I agree, this is ridiculous. IMR should be doing a little bit more than just nuking the center here, though, if he really wants to win. So if he really wanted to, he could end this game by putting a nuke here, putting a nuke there, while also nuking right here. And the chances are Rotodyne was probably not expected after being used to getting so many nukes there. He is going to nuke this expansion, but I don't know if these ghosts are going to be taken out in time. He is pressing forward. He's sieging his tanks. He's worried about these tanks a lot. He is focusing down. One nuke does go off and kill a few SCVs mining gas, as well as the add-on on this factory. The battle continues here in the middle. They relatively exchange forces for forces, but that kind of puts an end to the nuke advancement. I'm sure he has plenty of nukes all queued up and 6 more ghosts ready to plant these down.